I've been preparing to stop birth control since the beginning of 2023. We're now in July, and in 3 weeks, I am going to stop taking the pill. I've been taking the pill since I'm 15 years old, and tomorrow I'll be 26. It's my birthday tomorrow. So it's been over 10 years since I've been on birth control. I don't even know who I am as an adult without birth control. That's wild to me. Taking that pill every single day since I'm 15, since I was a teenager. So I'm excited to get off birth control to see who I can be without having something disrupting my hormones. If you don't know who I am, my name is Bianca St. George. I am a professional soccer player, but I love coming on YouTube to promote self-development and becoming a better version of yourself. And by becoming a better version of yourself, you're able to inspire others to do the same as well. So lead your life to lead others. If you're a returning subscriber, you know that I've been doing a lot of videos about the feminine energy. And I believe that getting off of birth control will get me closer to tap into my feminine energy. And being in your feminine energy is being in touch with your gut feeling. If you're taking a medication that disrupts your hormones, you're not going to be able to be truly in touch with your essence. So that's why I'm embarking on the journey of stopping birth control. But let's take a moment here and not demonize the pill, because the pill has actually been so good for us women. It's allowed us to get jobs. It's allowed us to have more control over our pregnancies, over our future. It's allowed us to be in the education. It's allowed for a better economy. So the pill has been so wonderful for us women. So we should not demonize it. But that doesn't mean that it was the best solution for everything. And that doesn't mean it's healthy, because it's still relatively new. And I just want to go onto a path that's more natural. And I don't think that means birth control for me. But if you decide to keep doing it, I mean, by all means, keep doing it. This is your choice. I'm here to share what I'm embarking on, what my journey is all about. And maybe if you're considering stopping, that will give you some ideas of what you should do for yourself. And I'm just gonna put a disclaimer, please talk to your doctor. I have talked to my fertility doctor, so I am in touch with doing it safely. So you should do the same for yourself. What's really gotten me into learning about birth control is understanding my menstrual cycle. I'm going to put a graph here that shows what it's like to be on birth control and what it's like to not be on birth control, and see how different those cycles are. And I want to be in tune with my emotions, because one of my problems is that I feel pretty numb in my daily life, and I feel like I can't really understand what I'm feeling. I numb myself out and I try to not think about anything. And for me to actually look deeper into why I'm feeling a certain way, or what's going on in my life and why I feel restless, why I feel anxious, I need to sit down and forcefully start to journal and ask questions. And it feels so hard when I'm like, maybe birth control is actually stripping away my ability to be in tune with my emotions, because it's your hormones, and your hormones make you who you are. And if it just keeps your hormones the same, you're never gonna feel the difference, the flow, how your cycle changes, and you're never gonna really understand who you are if you don't really have that opportunity on birth control. So looking deeper, I realized that birth control actually depletes you from vital vitamins in your body, such as magnesium, which is extremely important for shedding the uterine lining to make progesterone. Birth control also depletes you of zinc, which is important to make estrogen and testosterone, and it's important for you to get that for you to ovulate. It also depletes you of iodine, which is extremely important for your thyroid, 5-HTP, which is what makes serotonin, and serotonin is extremely important for you to feel good and feel present and happy and grateful in the moment. And it also depletes you of vitamin D, which is what carries your hormones around, and it's really important for your dopamine reward system, so your pleasure. So can you see that birth control can actually affect how you feel, because it has a huge effect on all the other hormones in your body, or what it makes into your body. So that really opened my eyes. I'm gonna give you a mini crash course of what your hormonal cycle looks like. It's about 28 days. Day 1 starts the first day of your period. It lasts about 5 to 7 days. After that, you get into your follicular phase, where estrogen's getting higher. Then you hit ovulation midpoint, and then it starts to dip down, and then progesterone starts to take up for the following 2 weeks of your cycle. And I want to feel my cycle, because first of all, I want to be in touch with my body, and second, I want to change my life depending on what my body needs. And right now in birth control, I cannot feel what it needs, because it's always the same thing. So I want to be more naturally connected to my body, and I feel like if I understand my body, not only will it raise my confidence, because because I'll feel like I know myself, but I'll be able to optimize my schedule, my life around my cycle, because I'll be in tune with it. I'll understand it. That's why it's so important that you start tracking your cycle right now. And you're really lucky if you do have a cycle, because I know a lot of people don't have a cycle, and that could be caused by a hormonal imbalance. And you should check out my video, my last video that I made about the causes of hormonal imbalances. So check that out. It could give you some food for thought of how you could try to fix that, or your first steps. But if you do have a cycle, it's so important you start tracking that, because as you'll see in this video and my next videos, knowing how to optimize your life based on the time of the month is the best way for you to reduce your anxiety and be more productive and be more gentle with yourself and just feel happier in general. There are other reasons why I also want to stop birth control, but those are just speculations, because I have issues in my life. I have a heart issues, a head issue, and a blood glucose issue. I'm kind of getting desperate, so I'm trying to see maybe if birth control has had some sort of effect on those 3 other issues. Again, I've been on it since I'm 15, and if there's one thing I should maybe start questioning, that's the only medication I've taken for so many years, and I've had so many problems since I've had that medication. So is there a link? I don't know. Now, there are a couple things I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of getting PMS, although I have seen that being on birth control doesn't actually help with PMS. Then I'm also afraid of acne, because I know that that happens once you stop and you have a flood of hormones coming back. And then lastly, I'm afraid of the headaches, because like I said, I'm dealing with headaches right now, and I'm afraid that taking the pill out will make my headaches worse. This video is all about preparing my body to get off birth control. So how am I actually preparing to get off birth control? First and foremost, the most important thing is my diet. And I've been preparing for months now about my diet, but lately I've been really drilling in because I've been learning more. I've read this book, Fast Like a Girl by Dr. Mindy Pelz. Beneficial book if you want to learn how to optimize your hormones, but also just be healthy. It's all about intermittent fasting and also learning when to fast within your cycle, because it is not helpful to always fast. And understanding why you're fasting. There are so many good benefits of fasting, and I've actually recently done a 24-hour fast, and that was, oh my God, that was mind-blowing, because I actually got so clear. I had revelations. I became aware of my internal thoughts. I became more aware of my relationship with food. It's really opened my eyes. Like, fasting is a great way to start to know yourself more, and a great way of healing. Also, the foods that you eat will change depending on the time of the month you're on. So if you want to be at the beginning of your month, you want to eat food that support estrogen. Last 2 weeks of your month, you want to eat food that is good for your progesterone, which is more carb related. So I'm going to start doing some carb cycling within my month, where I'll eat more carbs towards the end, less at the beginning, and more fasting at the beginning, less fasting at the end. Just a general rule of thumb, I am not having refined foods. At least, like, I'm being mindful of that. I know it's not an all or nothing, but it will be purposeful. And the intention is to have no refined foods. It's more complex carbs with a lot of fiber. I'm gonna hit my protein goals of 30 grams per meal, diversify my food, not always eat the same things, because that's also not good. You want to diversify your diet, because it's kind of like exercise. When you exercise and you always do the same thing, at some point you don't see the benefits anymore, because your body gets used to it. It adapts to what you're given. But if you diversify your diet and you add some fast here and there, your body will always be in the state of trying to heal and improve itself. And that's what I want. I want to heal. I want to heal from the inside, and not only feeding my hormones, but feeding my microbiome. I want to heal my gut health, because again, it has to do with my intuition and your bacteria. You have more bacteria cells than human cells. You have to be mindful of that and feed that. So I'll do that with the 3 Ps: prebiotics, probiotics, and polyphenols. And those are different types of foods for different types of bacteria: yogurt, kombucha, sauerkraut, hummus, chickpeas. Then spices. I don't really use a lot of spices, but I want to diversify my spices as well, because they literally feed different types of bacteria. To summarize, my diet will look like this: nature's food, organic, and if I can go to farmer's market, that's a bonus. That's in general. Second, it will be food to support my estrogen or progesterone, depending on the time of the month I'm on. If it's progesterone, it's more carbs. The carbs are complex carbs. Then throughout the month, I have to make sure that I also feed my microbiome with the 3 Ps. Also, I want to make sure I have enough protein, so about 30 grams of protein per meal. And then lastly, I want to make sure I have healthy fats, the avocados, the olive oils, all that type of stuff. And then with that diet, I want to have fasting periods at the beginning of the month and then be more mindful to eat more at the second part of the month. So this is a general idea of what my diet will look like. Also, a little bit less caffeine, no alcohol, and just implement some teas here and there. So that sounds like a pretty good plan right now. The second thing I want to do to support my hormones while I'm getting off birth control is to exercise, which is really easy for me because my job is being a professional athlete. But if you're looking to do that for yourself, this is the time to not slack off your exercise routine. You have to keep going because there's a lot that gets released with your sweat. You can also incorporate some infrared saunas. So I have planned the time of the month that I'm going to do my infrared sauna. And when I mean exercise, is especially resistance training, very good for your muscle. You want your muscles to be strong and be supported and support your body, and they're just like amazing organs that help regulate your hormones. And then lastly, you need to make sure you poop. You gotta poop, okay? That's a good way to release those toxins. The next thing I want to do to support my hormones is to manage my stress, and I feel like I've been pretty good recently at managing my stress because I've been really in tune with my feminine energy. I've been able to slow down, to not rush things, to romanticize my life, to feel like the main character, and I love that. And that's been really making me in a better mind space. But I still have things to do better, and one of them is my sleep hygiene. I need to go to bed at the same time every single night to then wake up at the same time every single day. I feel like it changes a little bit too much to my preference, and it is known from the sleep expert Dr. Matthew Walker that you need the same sleep schedule every single night to improve your health, your longevity, your vitality. So I believe that's science. I'm just not good at it. And I think one of the ways I can do that better is just to have a better routine or schedule within my life. Say no to things when things are happening later. Just respect my boundaries a little bit more. And also be prepared to have more relaxing methods before bed, because I travel a lot and we go through different time zones and all that. With the adrenaline of traveling, I have a hard time going to bed at night. I think I need to find ways to relax more before bed. So if that means more meditation, more stretching, just more mindfulness before I go to bed to put myself in that state of mind. And I think honestly drinking tea puts me into that mode. The next big one, to tackle my headache. I'm in the process of dealing with that with professionals. I'm getting some needling in my head to release some tension. I'm getting treatment with my physical therapist, and I have a massage therapist that works directly with my head and my neck. So I'm doing some things that are proactive to help manage my headaches. So I feel pretty secure about that. If you're someone that's prone to migraine, you need to take that seriously, because I mean, I understand how that feels. I don't have migraines, but I do have headaches, tension headaches, and I know it really disrupts your life. It's so uncomfortable, and you are at risk to having it worse once you stop birth control. So you want to tackle that right now before you stop. So I hope these gave you ideas. Now this major one, I'm scared of acne once I'm off birth control, and oh my god, I've gone all in with my skincare. Like I said with the diet, where you have to optimize it based on the time of the month, you have to do the same thing for your skincare, because when estrogen is there, or when progesterone is there, when you have high hormones or low hormones, your skin reacts differently. If you notice, when you're at the end of your month, your skin gets more oily, and when you start getting on your period, it gets dry and dull. And then when you're in your ovulation phase, your skin is glowy and radiant. So that's the case for a lot of people. That's the case for me. I have like hormonal acne. It's very mild, but I still have it. But I'm scared that it's going to get crazy when I'm off birth control. So I've decided to look at every skincare product I have. I went onto this app called OnSkin. I looked at the ratings. They give a score if it's a good, excellent, poor quality product. Even the things that are expensive doesn't mean it's a better product. So I would go onto that app and look at what you put, because those can aggravate your skin. Your skin is extremely breathable. It absorbs what you put on there, and then it gets distributed into your bloodstream. And if you don't want to have toxins enter your body through your skincare, you have to be mindful of what you're putting onto your skin. So go onto that app and check things out. I feel bad telling you this because I know I spent a lot of money doing that, and I know it's a luxury to spend money on good quality products. But to me, I make money, not a lot of money. I do make money, and I'm like, what am I gonna spend it on if it's not for my health or for things that I care about? I care about my health, I care about my skin, and if that means I can spend money on that, like, why am I making money if I'm not gonna spend it on anything? So I am okay with spending money on products that are a little bit more expensive, or just more products in general, to support what I desire. Like, I work for a certain reason, so might as well reward myself for that. And to me, it's good skincare. I also booked a facial. I'll book it every single month during my ovulation phase to just keep that maintenance going. I think this is the best time to do a facial, and I know that's also a luxury, but again, I'm working to spend my money on things that matter to me, and that's one of the things. I also booked massages in my second phases of the month where I'm more likely to be stressed. I forgot to mention that, but that's also a way I'm gonna manage stress. I just want you to consider, like, if you are scared to spend your money, just realize, like, what do you actually care about? What's worth spending your money? Just ask yourself those questions, because I know it seems overwhelming and a lot. Even buying organic food, at first I was like, no, I don't wanna do that. But then I'm like, this is my health. And I feel so much better about myself when I know I'm putting cleaner foods into my body, because your body reacts to what you're being put, what it's being exposed to. Just be mindful of that. So yeah, I started looking into everything I put onto my skin, whether it's skincare after my shower or the makeup that I use too. And then I'm starting to look at the last thing, which is other toxins that you can put into your body, like obesogens, that are plastics in your environment, phthalates. So those are things that are found in, like, your laundry detergent or the soap that you put on. So it's like an extra level of things that can be toxic to your body. And actually today, I didn't think I would talk about this, but I listened to a podcast today. Someone lost both of her legs because of the tampon she was wearing. Because of how your tampon is not a safe, clean product, and you shove that up your vagina, and then you literally have the toxins in the tampon that gets put into your bloodstream. That created a shock to her body, and she had to amputate both of her legs. Do you realize there's so many things in our environment that we literally ingest or put onto our skin or breathe or just lay on that are full of toxicity? I know it sounds like woo ha ha, and I used to be like, oh, I don't care about that, and we're all gonna die one day, whatever. Why? Because not only, maybe I'm not dying right now, but it could be making me in a worse mood. It could be making me more anxious. It could be making me sicker, and I don't even realize. So why not put that extra effort? It sounds like a lot of effort right now, but once you get into the rhythm and the momentum of it, and it becomes a new habit, it will feel easy. Like my skincare routine, it sounds complicated to switch the moisturizer I have at the beginning of the month versus the end of the month. It sounds like a lot of hassle, but now that it's been months I've been doing that, I'm like, okay, this is actually working, and it's fine. Like, it's a habit. I don't even have to think twice about it. It's just hard because it's the beginning. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what I do specifically, because we're all different and our body will react to different things. So you need to figure out and experiment on yourself. Like, don't match exactly what I say. Even if I told you, oh, I use Clarins for my skincare product, it might work for me, but it might not work for you. Like, you need to just take ownership of your life and figure out what works best for your body, because you are the most unique person out there. No one else is like you. You need to figure out what makes your body optimal. And this is just food for thought for you to start knowing, like, a sense of direction, like what you should start doing. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I love you so much. I'll see you in my next video, and yeah, lead your life to lead others. Love you.